Welcome to the HD show. You know what it is. We're not on the air. We're here for you on fox2detroit.com and, of course, on our Facebook page. And it has been very busy, especially weather-wise around here the last couple of days. Absolutely devastation. We saw in Weberville, in Williamston, in Ingham County, and now EF2 rated tornado that we know touched down. Yeah, I know you've been covering it for the news. I've been covering it in my personal life. My brother-in-law and his wife's house is in Mason, Michigan, so in Ingham County. And you know, there was a lot of damage down there. I had to bring my chainsaw and help them do what they could to just kind of clear the sidewalks until the insurance adjusters could get out there. And I'm sure many of you watching are in that same boat. So our thoughts and prayers are with you for sure. Certainly. Hopefully we won't see anything like that for the near future, so they could have some nice weather to clean up. Yeah, when you're talking about loss of life, obviously, so sad. Two people we know may have lost their lives in this, and I know they're still trying to figure out how many people were injured. So I think most of us want that kind of sigh of relief, and we're hoping it can be delivered by our Fox 2 meteorologist and weather authority, Stephanie Mead. How's it looking out there?
For sure, yeah, a lot quieter than what we've experienced over the past several days, whether it was flooding or that very destructive weather we saw late Thursday night. Nothing of that extreme through the day today, or even through tomorrow, and it looks like over the extended period too. We see rather quiet conditions. Highs today topped out in the upper 70s, 77 right now in the city, 72 in Lansing, and we're dry on Sky Tracker right now. Not necessarily going to be tracking out a whole lot through this evening. Should be mostly clear quiet with lows bottoming out in the upper 50s, and then during the day tomorrow, another comfortable one for sure. I do think we see more sunshine though during the day. 75 degrees, beautiful, sunny, and overall a very comfortable one for sure. Daytime highs through about say 5, 6 o'clock should top out in the mid to upper 70s for some locations. I think a lot of us will see a partly to mostly sunny sky heading through the day tomorrow. Otherwise, it looks like we're going to continue to see this nice dry and quiet pattern even through much of next week. So if you really enjoy the 70s, we have an extended period of it. 78 degrees during the day on Monday. Great start to your work week. And then by Tuesday, we're talking lower 80s. Rain chances with that, though, increase. Very spotty, if not isolated in nature through Tuesday, and I think a lot of us managed to see quite a bit of dry time. The system here looks like it passes just a little further north of us during the day on Tuesday. After that, we could be talking Labor Day weekend heat returning. Nothing too oppressively humid like what they saw this past week out near the Plain States and down near parts of, say, Illinois or Indiana, but we could be touching the mid to upper 80s. Nice week, though, here. Extended forecast shows numbers mainly in the 70s. Spotty shower chance Tuesday into Wednesday. Otherwise, Thursday, Friday looks great. Daytime highs mid to upper 70s, and then climbing towards that 80-degree mark as we head through Saturday of next week. But really nice, dry, quiet stretch out ahead of us here as we head through much of next week. Hilary and Dave.
All right, thank you. And remember, you can always check out our weather app if you need additional information. That is a real-time service for everyone. You can get it at the Apple Store or Google Play for Androids if you're looking for it. Yeah, I think we're going to stay with the weather, especially some of the aftermath that we were hinting at in the beginning of the show. So cleanup from this week's storms continue. There are trees still everywhere down in communities, and power has yet to be restored for more than 100,000 DTE Energy customers, along with 100,000 consumer energy customers as well. Yeah, so we're going to check in with Fox 2's Brandon Hudson, who we know earlier today was in Canton just surveying the damage that they experienced. Sadly, across much of our metro area, we've seen, gosh, debris everywhere. Take a look.
We learned from a City of Canton employee that the EF0 tornado moved from the other side of this building, which is a gym, and then it carved a path from the splash pad. It uprooted trees in that area over there. It damaged these trees right here, snapped this one in half, and then it damaged these pavilions, disintegrated the roof on that, and collapsed the other two before moving to the neighborhood on the other side. As the sun rose in Canton Saturday, it shined a light on the storm damage from the EF0 tornado. As people walked through Heritage Park, they saw pavilions torn apart, trees toppled, and branches scattered all over the ground. You're out here riding your bike. You seen anything like this before?
No, I have not. This is the first. I've been in Canton for 20 years, and this is the first time I've seen something like this.
Live nearby, coming from our weekly workout, and just checking out the damage around here.
What's going through your mind seeing all this?
Could have been a lot worse. I mean, it's scary, but you know. Could have been a lot of people's homes or who knows what else.
On Thursday, Mother Nature delivered a 1-2 punch to Canton. First, flooding stalled vehicles and trapped drivers on Ford Road during the day. The tornado struck that night. It was one of 7 hit Michigan. As the weather improves, the focus shifts to cleanup and recovery. A State Farm agent tells Fox 2 by Friday afternoon, more than 2,200 claims were filed. They expected that number to increase.
This is what we do. We're here to help customers recover from events just like this. So we understand it can be difficult. So part of it is just talking through with them their experience and having some empathy about what they just went through.
If you have any damage to your home, make sure you wear proper safety gear when going through it. File a claim before you throw anything away. Check for hazards around the house. Write down and take pictures of everything. And keep track of all the time and money spent on cleanup. Canton is encouraging any homeowners to send in self-reporting surveys if they were impacted by the heavy rains. The city will have teams go door to door to assess any home damage. Again, you look at the mess involving the pavilions, the tables, all the other wreckage and damage over there. On the bright side, this is all insured, so the city of Canton will be able to rebuild. They just don't have a timeline yet. In Canton, I'm Brandon Hudson, Fox 2 News.
Well, as you know, various portions of Michigan were hit. Ingham County, Livingston County, beyond much of where most of our viewers live. But obviously they have concerns for, our near neighbors in many ways.
Yeah, for sure. And we had the ability to fly our Fox 2 drone and here's some of that video that was taken with that drone. This was over Williamston Township in Ingham County. That's just outside of Lansing. You can see right there some of the semi-trucks that were flipped off the freeway on 96 by a tornado that ripped through that area. Wind gusts reaching 125 miles an hour there. Those same winds are also the cause of major damage to homes and businesses in both Williamston and Weberville.
We do still have some semi-trucks that are unaccounted for that are in the woods that were picked up during the tornado and taken off the highway. My chief of police, Bob Young, they have been on point all day long, as well as our DPW staff, making sure that our lift stations have generators because we are in the Red Cedar River area, so we do have that potential for flooding.
First responders tell us several people were hurt and at least 2 people were killed due to this storm.
Okay, now we're transitioning to some video from Ferndale. This is a large tree that came down on Saratoga Street near Woodward and 9 Mile. Crews chopped it up so that cars could get through there. The tree, as you can see, crushed a vehicle and took a large chunk out of a home. Thankfully, no one was hurt here. I'm always amazed when I see these images and you think of how close it could have been.
No kidding. Right.
You can replace things, you can't replace human lives.
Yep.
All that flooding in and around Detroit Metro Airport caused a lot of flight delays and cancellations. We were there. Trust me, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have never seen anything like this.
Really?
We've covered how much travel?
Oh, so
have
many.
we covered?
Yeah. I mean, multiple times a year we cover it.
Yeah, I never have seen anything like this at Metro Airport. I mean, it was shoulder to shoulder around 2 o'clock on Thursday. That would have been because they were trying to.
Gates?
They were people flying out. Yeah, I mean, people trying to check in for flights, people trying to get through TSA, shoulder to shoulder there on Thursday as they try to deal with that bottleneck. Travelers, though, are happy because things, at least after a few days, have started moving again.
Yeah, last check, most of the flights were departing and arriving on schedule now. Let's move on now to another story that police are investigating a shooting that happened early this morning on Burwood Street near Wyoming and Fenkell. That's on Detroit's west side. We're told a 36-year-old man was rushed to the hospital and is in critical condition after being shot. Police have yet to say what led to the shooting or if they have any leads here.
All right, we're going to turn to another story now. Michigan State Police are trying to figure out what led to a shooting that involved an off-duty officer. This happened earlier this morning at a strip club on Woodward near 6 Mile. That's the east side. Police say a man was struck and taken to the hospital, but is expected to survive. No one else was hurt in that shooting. All right, turning to more sad news. 2 people have died in 2 separate wrong-way crashes on 75. That happened this morning.
These are so scary, especially when they're happening on the freeway. First one happened on I-75 and Clark Avenue. Police say a driver in a white SUV was heading north in the southbound lanes before colliding with another vehicle. When troopers got to the scene, they found 3 cars were involved. The driver in a Kia was killed, while the driver who was going the wrong way and someone else in a third vehicle were taken to the hospital with some serious injuries.
And just a few hours after that incident, another wrong-way driver caused a crash on 75. This one near Schaefer. Look at the images. Just unbelievable and so tragic here. Police say a 39-year-old Detroit man who was driving a Ford Fusion was killed in this incident. The 26-year-old Detroit woman who was going the wrong way was taken to a hospital with critical injuries. That car is just almost entirely demolished. All right, we're turning to something a little lighter now. There was an event held today to help raise both awareness and funds to eliminate drunk and drugged driving.
The Walk Like Mad event has been around for years, and here's some video from the event that was held at Rochester Municipal Park in Rochester, where dozens of people turned out to walk in memory of those lives that were lost due to drunk drivers in our state, including the mother of Mia Hayward, who lost her teen daughter to a drunk driver just 2 years ago.
The way I have always put it is, when you get in that car, you load your gun. When you turn that key and start driving, you're aiming that gun. And when Robert Merritt hit my daughter and all these other people whose lives have been affected and taken and injured, killed with a 2,000-pound lethal weapon.
Yeah, so sad. I personally know somebody that I went to high school died when she was in high school with me, and back in the 90s. And you know, they have the markers up where the accident occurred to remind people just, you know, to think before getting behind the wheel after you've had too much to drink or something to that effect. The effects of this just linger and linger, obviously, for anyone who's lost anyone that through some sort of tragedy. It just doesn't go away. So if you weren't able to make it to today's event, you can still help by donating. Find more information by going to walklikemad.org.
Yeah, the consequences are just tremendous whenever you get behind the wheel. I mean, even if you're a little too sleepy or, you know, for whatever reason you have vision that's impaired or whatever the circumstance may be, that vehicle can be so destructive, not only to your own life, but of course the motorists who are sharing the road with you. So it's something for us all to just remember. Right,
and nowadays with ride-sharing apps that, you know, get a ride at the touch of a button, there really is no excuse.
Yeah. All right, so now we're turning to something a little lighter. We're in the dog days of summer, as they say, although it doesn't really feel like that. So it's appropriate that we're talking about National Dog Day, and Oakland County Parks are helping locals just, you know, feel good about it, celebrate.
Yeah, they've waived the vehicle entry fees at 3 dog parks today. That means anyone going to Lion Oaks, Orion Oaks, or Red Oaks Dog Park can get in for free. So pets can enjoy the beautiful day like those two right there. I mean, it really is good weather for that, so that's cool. If you were out there earlier, maybe you might have seen some Oakland County Sheriff staff members handing out goodies to all the dogs, including water bowls and lighted pet tags. And, you know, I've taken my dog to a dog park or two. She's not the biggest fan.
No?
I enjoy,
She's not very social with other dogs?
She's not a very social dog.
I'm not going to tell you which congressperson. I'm going to even just not even say if it's a man or woman. But I ran into a congressperson at an event recently, and she had her dog. And there were a couple people who had dogs, and the dog was pulling the lead. And there were a few others around, and you know, because she's a congressperson, I've already given away, but we got a few female congress people. But yeah, her dog was not very social, and so it does happen. But you know, it's good to get out there and have your dogs out there. Even if you keep your dog in one area, usually there's a lot of space for all the doggies to have a little fun.
It's cool.
Okay, the 4th Michigan Maid Festival has rolled into Canterbury Village near Lake Orion. This is always a really fun one, and kind of in our neck of the woods now.
Yeah, dozens of vendors from around the state showcasing their work, and you could check it out both today and tomorrow. Take a little peek here.
All right, we're going to talk to you about an event held today to help raise both awareness and funds to eliminate drunk and drug driving, which we already talked about, so we're not going to go back to that. But it is very important for us to acknowledge just how critical that is, certainly.
Yeah, we'll have more on that tonight at 10 o'clock, along with many other stories that we are both currently working on.
Yeah, both of us are, and we appreciate you. Have a great day.
See ya.